What's good? What's good? Let me go live on Instagram also. Let me make sure we are live on YouTube. Um, what's good, everyone? This is episode 68 of the Secrets to Success podcast. I'm just double checking the YouTube over here to make sure we are good to go. This will be episode 68 of the Secrets to Success podcast. So you can go back and you can watch 67 other episodes of this podcast where I'm diving in on sync licensing, music production, trailer music, and in this particular episode, what we're going to do is that we're going to just dive into updating my Logic Pro. So this might blow up in my face. Pause. No, yeah, pause. Because I don't know if I have to restart the computer, and if I have to restart the computer, that'll mess up the live. But in this episode, which is sponsored by ASTS, shout out to ASTS for making some great plugins for music creators like me and you. Also, I have a music workshop going down on Friday. Another music workshop. This will be composing Disney style music. That will be Friday night at 9 p.m. And of course, when the workshop is done and I have the video edited, I will be able to share the replay with you. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching on Instagram, comment the word Disney and I will share the workshop info with you there. So in this episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about whether or not you should upgrade your DAW, why I am upgrading. Logic Pro 11 was just released Monday of this week, so about 2 days ago. And I didn't update, of course, the first day. I was finishing up some projects. That's why I didn't update then. I'm deciding to update now, mostly for the content. I want to dive in. I want to compare the stem splitting things. I want to see some of the new features, some of the AI things that are involved. I've been watching some other videos, so having sort of that fear of missing out. But I'm going to go over, the process of what you should do before upgrading, specifically Logic Pro. For again, if you're in sync licensing, you're in trailer music, and everything's been working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm mostly doing this for content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my Finder here, and if you haven't seen the process, some great people that use Logic Pro have gone over this process on what you should do before you update, and then the process of updating. So what you should do before you update, let me make sure Logic Pro is closed. What I'm going to do is compress the current app. So if I right click or control click on Logic Pro here in my applications window on the Mac Finder, and then I go to compress. It's going to compress that Logic Pro sort of app. Hopefully that'll only take a few minutes. Looks like it's going to take about 3 minutes. And while that's compressing, I will just keep talking. And what that does is that will keep the current version of Logic Pro. I do know that is Logic Pro 10.8.1. So when it compresses, also I'm going to relabel that. The reason why you want to compress this version of Logic Pro is because when I do the update here in the App Store, it will update whatever is labeled Logic Pro here. M Capital Music, thank you for tuning in. Jump on over to YouTube if you can. I should pin it in the comment. Because I am live on YouTube where you can see me actually upgrading my Logic Pro, which is going to take a while. So if you have any questions, you can drop them here. Also, I'll answer them here. Also, my phone battery is low. I just realized my battery's low. It's probably going to cut off on the Instagram live. So jump on over to YouTube if you can. And I should be able to, actually, I don't think I have the comments enabled. So yeah, hopefully my phone doesn't die here on Instagram. But this update, Logic Pro is about 2 gigabytes. I don't know why it's going to take 7 minutes to compress that, but it is what it is. Computer just being computer things. So today, why I decided to upgrade right now is because one, for content, for social media, for the podcast, but also I want to test out some of these features. I probably won't be able to do it tonight, but over the next few days, I want to test out these features for the stem separation. Of course, I use Isotope RX. RX11 was just released, so I should download that also. I just updated my computer. So my computer was on Ventura. I just went up to Sonoma today just to get the update to make sure I had like the latest Logic Pro version. Also, this compression is taking forever. Let me go ahead and hit stop and see if I can speed that up a little bit. Let me make sure the app is closed. So I'm going to try the compression again. We'll go here, compress. We'll see if it does it a little faster. Like I said, 2 gigabytes should only take a few minutes. I don't know why I jumped up to 7 minutes like that. So we'll see if this speeds up a little bit. But the reason why I'm doing this now is because I do want the content, but I want to see those features. I want to really compare that stem separation splitter or stem splitter. I don't know what they call it, stem separation. I don't need my headphones right now. I was gonna try to do some music also tonight, but I want to test out the stem separation produced by 1000. Thank you for tuning in. And see how that looks. I guess it's going to take like 5-10 minutes to compress. So if you have any questions about sync licensing, trailer music, or any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm produced by 1,000. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully my phone doesn't like die out. I have it on the charger, but it's already on the low battery mode, so I don't know how the balance works between the phone charging while I'm also going live and things like that. ADHD, thank you for tuning in. We are also live on YouTube. If you want to see me upgrading my Logic Pro, but it's not really nothing glamorous. I'm just waiting for the Logic Pro, the current version of Logic Pro, to compress so that I can upgrade my Logic Pro. So we are on Logic Pro 11. I'm probably going to do the update tonight, and then over the next few days, I'll probably go live again, diving in on some of those features as I mentioned. Features that you've been seeing if you use Logic Pro or been seeing the posts. People have been talking about the stem splitter. They've been talking about the session drum, or the drummer's already been there, but the keys and the bass and all that. So I want to dive in. And also the two things I'm really interested in is the stem splitter, how that compares to RX, and the Chroma Glow sort of internal saturation feature. The Big Shots music. Thank you for tuning in. I probably should just go to sleep because the I hate when I'm doing something on the computer, like processing something, and the time keeps increasing. So at first it was like 2-3 minutes, and then it jumped up to like 7 minutes, and then it jumped up to 12 minutes. Now it's saying 11 minutes, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so if you have any questions about sync licensing, trailer music, you can jump over to YouTube. I should pin the comment. If you want to jump over to YouTube, but you can't ask questions there because I forgot to change the settings so that you could ask questions. So it's set to, right now it's set to the kid mode, so you can't ask questions there. But if you can ask questions here on Instagram, and then I'll answer them, but you have to watch the replay on YouTube. So the Big Shot music, Natoven, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Natoven. Shout out to the whole hard drive community. I'm debating whether I'm gonna share this next workshop in hard drive. The last couple workshops I did share on the hard drive community as part of the events, but I'm hosting a workshop on Friday that is composing Disney style music. So the last workshop was composing epic cinematic hip hop music. You can actually catch the replay of that by commenting the word epic. The next workshop will be composing Disney style music, more for like Disney animations. You can check that out. You can register for that if you comment the word Disney. For these workshops that I'm doing, the best way to attend is to attend them live, or at least to register for them live, because when you register for them live, you'll get access to the recording, at least a limited time access to the recording. But after the live event, the price of the recording for the first week, the launch price will be double the price to attend the live. And then after the launch week sale, the price of the recording after that in general will be 3 times the price of attending the live. So it's actually cheaper to attend the live. At least for now. I might adjust pricing, as the star rises. Ultra West, thank you for tuning in. So right now you can check out the Disney composing Disney style music, which will be Friday live on Zoom. You can join in. You can unmute your cameras, but you will be recorded. So if you want to ask some questions, see the process. And the goal will be to try to do it in Logic Pro if I can get it updated tonight. And I want to test some things out tomorrow. But Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Friday night. That is the plan, to do the Disney style music live workshop. So that's going to be fun. Trying to tap into that inner Let It Go. I've been composing some of that style of music for an incredible big singer-songwriter. You might have seen me post about it several months ago, actually. But yeah, so been diving in on that. I just want to dive in more on that style. And then you can catch these gems, of how I create that style of music. As I'm building this sort of catalog of workshops and things. I did a free workshop. It used to be a paid workshop that I was doing on networking, but Pandian, shout out to the Pandian Music Foundation. They reached out and was like, hey, you want to do a workshop with us? And I ended up doing the networking as a music creative workshop with them. So you can go to their Facebook page, Pandian Music Foundation, I think is their Facebook page, and you can find the recording of that. They also do some other great workshops and events with sync libraries and sync agents and music supervisors and music creators and other people in the music space. So shout out to the Pandian Music Foundation. Really shout out to all these different communities. I'm working on a hopefully what can be a big deal. One of the companies I work with is traveling to Europe in a few weeks. So I'm trying to see if I can get some sponsors, Lord willing, so that I can go, because that would be incredible, because actually they're working on some cinematic music specifically at that camp. So yeah, fingers crossed. So a lot of things in the works. I was just out in LA working on some top secret stuff, as I mentioned in some past lives and the previous episode of this podcast. Yeah, there's some things are happening, things are in the works. So we're about 2 minutes out from the Logic Pro sort of compression stage. Shout out to all the Logic Pro like gurus out there, all the people that I follow, people that share advice. Shout out to Apple, but I'm not a beta tester or anything, not for Logic or Apple, but so I got to do the update with everyone else, all the other uh, non-secret folk that's in the Apple community. But I am a Logic Pro fan. I upgraded from GarageBand in 2020 when the pandemic hit, and there was like a 90-day trial for Logic Pro, and it was a um, no pun intended, logical step up from GarageBand to Logic Pro. So yeah, again, we're 2 minutes out. So if you have any other questions about sync, or again, if you're watching on YouTube, apologies because I don't have the comments enabled, and I don't think I can enable the comments after I've gone live already. I'd have to stop the live, enable the comments, and go live again. So unfortunately, I can't turn those on. But if you have any questions, Experience J, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions while I'm waiting for Logic Pro to update on my computer, please drop them in the comments, and I'll see if I can address those. Current plans for this week. I'm actually I didn't make much music today. Last night, I locked in last night, did a 30-second sort of trailer thing. I might try to do that tonight, but I really want to get this update done. And then I need to go. I need to get to sleep. But I locked in on like a 30-second trailer idea, and I want to do like 3 or 4 of those hopefully by the end of the week. So that is a goal this week. Maybe I'll be able to sneak a little bit in while I'm at work tomorrow. Uh, that's the thing, man. If I can get one of those X Key Air keyboards, and I would bring those to work every day. If they're like a flat keyboard, that thing is like a sheet of paper, but I could use that to sort of trigger some MIDI things when I get to work, and then I can like put it up when there's no free time. But I remember watching some fellow creators like go to work and like they pull out their iPad during lunch and they're making beats and doing videos and going live. In fact, of this podcast, the Syncrets To Success podcast on YouTube, the first 30 or 31 episodes, because I did it the month of August when I launched, and I did an episode every day. That's how I launched the podcast. And for the most part, most of those episodes were done while I was at work. Like as soon as I got to work, let me record an episode real quick. Let's talk about this side of sync or this side of trailer music. And that's how this podcast started. And now this is episode 68, I believe. I would like to get I would like to get 100 episodes and then figure out how to get the episodes. Right now it's only on YouTube. I want to get to 100 and then get the episodes over to the streaming platform. So a lot of the works. While this is still updating, actually it's compressing. I'm not even updating yet. I'm just compressing on the Logic Pro, the current Logic Pro app. As I mentioned, to upgrade, the best thing as a backup plan is to compress your current version of Logic Pro. You want to compress that, and then you want to update to the next version. You've probably seen videos by now if you have Logic Pro or if you are in the process of updating. Let me make sure that the apps that are showing on my screen are not, there's nothing too proprietary that you shouldn't be seeing. I think you're fine. That's the other thing about going live is like I beta test a lot of stuff. I have a couple companies, NDA things that just got to be careful of what is showing on the screen and on the recording, or I got to go back in and edit and delete. And yeah, so yeah, the joys of being a content creator / beta tester, and music creator and a creative entrepreneur, all those things. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. I know it's where I'm at. It's almost it's not almost midnight. It's 11:30, but I am probably gonna. You know what? Last night the plan was to get like 6 hours of sleep last night, and I was so close. Like 11:45, I was like, okay, if I go to sleep now, and then next thing I know, it's like 1:45 because I started working on that 30-second trailer idea, and I was like, time is up. What I was gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do another episode where I'm comparing sort of those features. And that'll give me another episode. So today I'm just going to focus on upgrading a DAW. So if you use like these DAWs, it's like, yo, we got this new update version, the next 0.1 version or the next 1.0 version upgrade. Usually I do wait. I like to wait till at least a 0.1, 0.2 update, usually when the kinks are out, especially when I have all these plugins for trailers and things. I want to make sure that they work. So this is going to be interesting. Obviously, if it doesn't work, I do have this backup that I'm backing up as it's compressed. So now what I want to do, I know that Logic Pro X version, I'm going to just put it here. The zip file is Logic Pro 10.8 8.1, just so I know what that version is. And now I'm going to go over to here on my Mac. If you're on YouTube, you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go to the App Store, which I already have open, and you see Logic Pro. It was available 2 days ago when it was released. I'm just going to hit update here, and we'll see how long that takes. I also, like I said, I just updated to Sonoma, so I'm really just doing all the updates today. Sonoma took a little bit of time on my computer. It looks like this is only going to take um, maybe a couple minutes, maybe less than a minute, 375 megabytes. We'll see. The update process, it could be weird. And I hope it doesn't ask me to restart my computer. That's the only thing, because then it'll end the YouTube live. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. For those who do use Logic, if you've updated, what is the thing that if you've updated and started using it, what is the feature that you enjoy the most? Whether you're using Logic on the desktop or on the iPad or both, what do you enjoy using? Like I said, I believe I do use RX, but I use it for more than just the stem separation. But I do want to compare that. I do want to check out the Chroma Glow. Is that what it's called? Chroma Glow, the saturation thing, and of course the AI. I want to see the new drummer stuff. I want to use the new drummer stuff. I don't know if I'll use the keys and bass as much, but we'll see. Um, and yeah, that'll be some videos I'll do over the next few days. And of course, I got to make sure this works so that I can get the Disney workshop together. Again, comment Disney on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, check out the first bullet point in the description for the Disney composing Disney style music workshop. When I say Disney style, this is more of the songs that Disney characters sing, like in these animations. So it would be like composing sort of like my version of the like Let It Go type song. So not necessarily the orchestral, like the scoring, but more so the orchestral slash popish Broadway-ish type things. So yeah, we'll dive into that on Friday. It's gonna be interesting because I never know what I'm gonna create until like I'm creating it. It's like, okay, that's where we went there, that's what we're doing. But there's some things that I learned um uh working with Disney, and of course trying to work more with them and learning some insights from people that I know who work with them and their music supervisors and their team over there. So um this is not something that I'm making specifically for a Disney project, but would love to land some of this stuff on Disney. And I already have a singer who's like, "Yo, can you send me some Disney stuff?" So I'm like, I'm tapping in on that vibe. And I want to start documenting more when I'm creating music. Sometimes I just lock in. Sometimes if you're lucky, I go live on Instagram and you see me composing music live on Instagram uh, while I'm in the process of making something. And then a lot of times I delete that footage. Um, Black Panther style. What else is going on? Shout out to, man, we're at, last I checked, was it like 3,000 ish views across social media for the trailerization I did of Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. I finally said it right. I want to call it They Not Like Us, but the song title is called Not Like Us. I actually haven't posted it to YouTube. I need to post it to YouTube. They lifted the copyright, so there would be no copyright strike, allegedly. So I need to post it to YouTube. So that I can get those extra eyeballs on it. Pause. Uh, but it is on social media, Instagram, Twitter. Shout out to everyone that's been checking it out. They're like, "Yo, this is dope." Would love to get Kendrick Lamar to hear that. And yeah, so yeah, that trailerization is like going crazy. Um, Another company I work with, they're like, "Yo, I did 2 trailerizations for them a couple weeks ago, and they were like, you did these so fast. Sometimes we get last minute briefs. Would you mind working on more for us?" I was like, "Of course. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm meant to do. I believe that's what I like doing." So hopefully more work and Lord willing placements. That's the ultimate goal, of course, is to get these placements. Like I said, I've said it in the past, getting on albums is cool. Getting good looks, getting shout outs, getting reposts and all that, that's cool. Getting the emojis on the comments is cool. But the placements really is where it's at. Like getting trailer placements, getting to work with companies like Disney or other Fortune 500 companies on opportunities, to be able to bring offers to the table and opportunities to the table for people that I know in the community, in the sync space, in the music space, to bring singers and songwriters and rappers into sync libraries, to introduce them to sync agents, to work on albums with them, to get placements. I mentioned yesterday, someone posted, they got a placement. Their first placement was with a clap loop that I created. And I sell on my site. Comment the word clap and you can check out the clap loop. If you are on Instagram, go to thefingers.com/samples, or just go to thefingers.com, click at the top. click sample packs, and you can see all the sample packs I have, including the royalty-free clap loops. Um, it's called Clap Friday Volume One because it was released on Black Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. So yeah. Um, let's see. This doesn't tell me. I wish so. Apple doesn't tell me the time it takes to install or update. So again, if you have any questions, if you are watching on YouTube, you have to come over to Instagram to drop your questions in the comments. I did get a question earlier. I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer it in this episode. Someone asked, "What are your thoughts on sampling for producers?" And the answer was that I gave is that for sync, of course, sampling you don't want to sample. And by sampling, I'm meaning if you're taking like an existing song that another artist created and released, and you're like chopping it up and making a whole beat around like sampling some of those ideas. For sync, pretty much it's a no-no unless you are like Kanye West or someone at a certain level. Um, but for sync sampling, that way, no. If you are composing music, obviously you're not sampling in that way. You're like composing the music. If you're working with artists, maybe you can get by with sampling. Maybe you can use things like TrackLib, where there's certain levels where you can clear the song, depending on I think some of the ways that the song might be used or sold. Um, so there's ways around that. There's companies that help to clear samples for artists and things like that. I just wouldn't do it for sync just because there's so much to go through for sync. And then even if you get a huge sync placement of a song that you sampled, um, the original copyright owner or publisher might just want to take 99% of the earnings of that. You get 1%, which still could be a lot, but just a lot more risk involved when you're sampling in the sync space. Now, there is a sort of parallel for the trailer music that I'm doing, where I'm doing these trailerizations like the Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us traillerization, where of course I don't go to Kendrick Lamar or his team and be like, yo, can you clear the sample for me to use, this? The way that works is that I can I trailerize a song. I just do, take the song, trailerize it, do the epic cinematic stuff, and then try to get it to a library that's interested in signing it to their catalog. And then they pitch it to opportunities. And let's say the film company, if the film company is interested in using the traillerization of that song, then they will deal with clearing the copyrights and making all the payments. There still might be that whole, the Kendrick Lamar wants to take 99% of the budget for this and you get 1%, but still, in that case, it's more for the clout and the be able to say, yo, I trailerized a song. It's on this film trailer, whatever the case. Nelson Tolbert, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. Let's see. I don't know. Is this updating still or did it crash on me? 44% complete. I want to see if it'll tell me. If anyone has updated their Logic Pro, let me know how long it took. This is taking like way longer than I thought it would. Pause. But hey, it's number one in the App Store for music. It is has a rating of 4.4 stars. That's not too bad. Maybe I should rate it, try to boost it up. I would get 5 star. Well, I don't use like a lot of the stuff that people use in there. I'm barely probably using 10% of Logic Pro's features. But I'm looking at these comments now, and the comments are like, okay, it can be taken out of context when the 4 star rating is 2 years old. This rating is still 5 stars, but it's 6 years old. So I wonder if there's a way to filter the ratings based on the last like 2 years or so, because things can change in 2 years. Let's see where's I just want to see the percentage going up when I'm updating. Hold on, 49. Okay, so the percentage is going up. It's just going really slow, and also it says 50% complete, even though the blue line here is like way past 50%. Green Coast Music, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. My battery is low on Instagram, but I'm updating my DAW here, Logic Pro, on YouTube. I'm here on my podcast live on YouTube. But if you have any questions about sync licensing, trailer music, drop them in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer while I'm impatiently waiting for this thing to update, which I didn't expect to take this long at all. But like I said, can't wait to dive in. Probably maybe tomorrow, if I think about it, I will go live and share. What I want to do is that stem separation, like the verses, stem separation in Logic versus the RX. I use RX faithfully. I actually have to update my RX. RX 11 was officially released yesterday. So I got to update my RX 11 to get the official version of that. Um, but yeah, probably not making much music today because I'm just waiting for this update to complete so that I'll probably just end up going to bed after this, and then getting ready for tomorrow. I'm hoping that this finishes. If it finishes in like 15-20 minutes, I'll be happy. If it takes longer, I'll be happy if it finishes now. But it's taking its time. I wonder if people are updating now. The other thing about waiting to update is like a lot of people are updating, at the same time, which was weird because I was looking for the update. When did the update? Monday. I think I was looking for it on Monday, and I was like, "What time is the update?" I thought it was gonna be like 3 a.m. California time, 12 a.m. But it like took forever for them to release the update. So I didn't even realize it was out until people. Then I started seeing the posts. Uh, but yeah, Logic Pro gang dove in on that. I might end up starting with another DAW this year if I can mentally get there. It's just hard to for me. I'm barely, I'm learning Logic Pro. I've been using Logic Pro since 2020, but I was using GarageBand a little bit before that. So I'm like finally figuring out, my process with Logic, and then to like dive in on another DAW. Um, but good to have options. Nelson says, I just started my update and it just finished. What time did you start, Nelson? Because mine is like taking forever. And I don't know if this is part of it, but I just updated to Sonoma today earlier, which took, I don't know how long it took, maybe about 30, 45 minutes or so, going from Ventura to Sonoma. I'm using the M1 Mac, I believe. So I should be eligible for all the new features. We'll see. Um, but oh, I think we're done. I'm gonna open it up. Looks like the update is done. I'm gonna hit open. We're gonna see what happens. Like I said, I don't plan on doing anything. I wanna maybe I'll stay live here for another 17 minutes. Nelson said his just finished. Okay, so mine just finished too. So I just hit the mic. So if you want to go to YouTube, you can find the version 11. You can find the updated. You can watch what I'm doing if you go to youtube.com/thefingers1. Let's see how long it takes to open up. Pause. Version 11. So I've seen videos of people using this. So I finally took the plunge. Usually I wait. Usually I do wait. Bandela. Thank you for tuning in. What's new in Logic Pro? Obviously the session players, new bass player, keyboard player, drummer. They joined the drummer. You have Chroma Glow. I know they've been talking about Chroma Glow, and then the stem splitter. That's what I want to see the most. Again, I'm gonna make that another episode of this podcast. And then round trip. What is round trip? The session players, Chroma Glow, stem splitter come to Logic Pro for iPad 2 to move projects between Logic Pro. I don't use Logic Pro on the iPad. I just have to pay for the subscription. Plus, I don't have an M chip iPad. I have the 2018 iPad Pro, which is not the M series. But they have the complete feature list here, which I'm not going to really read into all that right now. This is 11 gigabytes. Okay. I'm downloading the packages. Let me know if it'll download. I'm going to open up an empty project here. Super Producer Firetracks, thank you for tuning in. I am live on YouTube. And I am going to open up let's see. So normally I have like 10 tracks going. I might, while I'm waiting for these files to download, see what we can do here. So jump over to the YouTube link that's in the pinned comment. I don't know if I have the audio set to send to YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram and YouTube at the same time, let me know if you'll hear the audio. I'm gonna open up one of my favorite plugins called Keep Forest Devastator Breakout Pro. And actually, I don't even have my keyboard set up. Audio MIDI. I'm gonna go to. You know what? What I can do is I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the next workshop. Meaning, I don't know what I'm going to do. But, so I was going to open up Contact. This will help me know if I have any problems opening up Contact, which is taking a little longer than it used to in the previous version. But again, just got to be patient. If I can get the plugin to open, maybe I'll just show you where I would start with sort of that Disney style music, and then oh, I see it's still downloading like a lot of it's downloading some of the stuff here. So I wonder. I don't have to use Contact. I just want to use piano sound. Can we go to? Even though I like Contact, you know what? I'm gonna go to Piano Verse. So shout out to IK Multimedia. I had a chat with the team earlier today. Piano Verse. Let's see if that opens up. I know stuff is downloading 12 gigabytes, 14 minutes. So it's going to take me longer. So this is things to keep in mind. So once you download the app and update the app, there's more content to download. So in my case, it's taking another 14 minutes. It might be faster depending on the system you have. And it just went up to 15 minutes. So there's that. And I think it's blocking me from doing what I would like to do right now. It is like, it's not letting me do anything in here because it's downloading. So I can't do anything music wise. That's just life. I'm glad I wasn't planning on like creating anything tonight because yeah, I'd be like, man, the update process. So if you think you're gonna like get in there, I'm gonna update my software, latest thing out. It's gonna take 5-10 minutes. No, just plan for it to be, you never know, 2 hours, 3 hours. So do it like if it's something you can click and just let your computer run while you're doing other things, watch the movie or whatever. And do that. In my case, I'm just live on doing this podcast episode. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I know people are. It's late here. I'm on the East Coast. It's almost midnight. So it's almost morning, and I need to get a couple hours of sleep. But I definitely want to get this done now, which it'll get me ahead of some things. 12 minutes to update that. So like the first part was like, okay, I updated to Sonoma. So that was, let's say that was an hour. Then I compressed the previous version of Logic Pro, which did I label that? Logic Pro 10.8.1. Yeah. So I compressed that, which was, I don't know, what, 15, 20 minutes. And then did the update, which again was, let's say 30 minutes. So the stuff just adds up. I see the app's doing here. I got the chord. I've been hearing about the chord. I forgot about the chord track here. So I can start putting in the chords. What I used to do is I used to put the chords in on the marker track. But now we have a dedicated chord track. I know some people would do like the MIDI. They would like write the chords in the MIDI like blocks. I still don't think. Let's see. Can I delete the contacts? If I can, say no plugin here. It's still doing its thing. The background processing. And it went back up to 14 minutes. What I need to do, maybe another, I don't know if it'll be another episode, but I need to clear out some space on my computer also. I know I have about 600, 700 gigabytes left, but I need to archive some old Logic files. I usually back them up to an external drive, a hard drive, and then backed up to Google Drive, and then I think that's it. I do need to have one more backup. So Super Producer Fire Tracks. Let me know if you have any questions. Bandela, thank you for tuning in. And Nelson Tolbert and Green Coast Music, thank you for tuning in. And whoever's watching on, I can't see who's watching on YouTube because again, I got to figure out that setting. I'm using OBS to stream, so I got to figure out that setting that I have set that makes it triggers it to make it be for kids and make it not be for kids. This 14 minutes, Be Fresh Production. Thank you for tuning in. 14 minutes is killing me. 14 minutes is wild to update. Essential session player. So I'm thinking it's downloading the bass, the keys. I think maybe there's even more drum stuff in there. But I want to see what I want to see here. If you're not watching on YouTube here, I want to see this number go up, and I'm not seeing that go up. Pause. It does do this every once in a while. So I see the blue line here. I see that it's downloading stuff over here on the left. So again, it's a patience game when updating your DAW to the next version. And you don't, like I said, you don't have to be up to date. It is totally optional. If your system is working, there are people working on like 5-10-year-old systems, and they're getting the music done. They're getting the placements. They're getting the projects done. I would like to get to a place where I could upgrade my the actual computer every, I would say 4 to 5 years. I think 3 years might be kind of too soon, but maybe 3 to 5 years, but definitely 4 to 5 years upgrading the actual hardware computer, um, which again will take, every time I upgrade, it's like 2 3 days to transfer stuff over. Usually I get a bigger drive on the new computer. So this computer I'm using now, um, I think it's 2022 M1 Mac or 21 M1 Mac, and it is 6 terabyte internal drive. And I'm down to the last like 700 gigs because I have a lot of sounds in there. Some sounds I need to just take off also because I don't use a lot of sounds. So that might be another episode of just cleaning up space on the hard drive, backing up old Logic sessions, getting rid of like high video size, video files that are large in size, things like that. So yeah, I did a lot of cleaning before going to LA last week because I knew I needed some space on my laptop for the project out there. Um, so I did a lot of cleaning. I freed up probably about 200 gigs a couple days before flying out. So yeah, um, but it's just really making sure that all your systems are optimized. Let me see. I want to just see. I want to get to a piano track. I wonder if can I. I know if I try to delete that, it's gonna open up. Can I play a note? Hold on. It's not triggering the note. Let's go to piano, even though that's downloading. Legacy pianos, Bosendorfer. If I can just get a piano to play, but I don't think it's going to do it because all the processing is doing. Even though we're at about halfway there with the downloading. As you are painstakingly watching me update the Logic Pro DAW. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Am I in the middle of any major projects this week? Nothing of notes. I do have, always have trailer things I could work on for libraries. There's actually one library that I've missed definitely the last album they did. But before that, I've landed on every album that since they signed me. I landed on every album except the last one because, I think because I was out of town. But usually I lock in on some ideas for them every Friday. I try to do one track for them for the album they're working on. And hopefully I can lock in on an idea for them this Friday. And then I get briefs all the time on through email. I've started chasing the briefs less and less now, and focusing more on just creating great music and then finding the library for the music. I actually have an agreement I need to sign. I need to sign it this week with another library I started working with. And actually, I started working with another trailer library yesterday. Well, I've been working with them. I did a trailerization for them, and they sent the paperwork to sign off yesterday. So things are happening slowly but surely. I like to say right now I'm in that space that's between the, seeing the. I've seen some placements, and I'm aware through my libraries that I'm getting placements, but I haven't seen the royalty statements yet for those placements. So I'm in the in between space of, putting out hundreds, close to 1,000 tracks into the sync space, into the sync atmosphere, and the trailer atmosphere. So I'm sort of in that in between putting the music out there. So it's like creating the music, putting the music out there, getting placements, and then getting the royalty statements and getting paid for those placements. Some of those placements do have upfront fees. So exciting to see. Hopefully, when things start landing on a continuous basis, and I start seeing those royalty statements come in, and hopefully the number will be the number that I envision in my head. Or even greater. Aerozilla, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, again, drop them in the comments. I am. This is taking forever, so I'm here until I'll try to be here at least until this thing finishes. But if it ends up taking another 2 hours, like this is gonna be a long episode. As a reminder, this is an episode of the Syncrets To Success podcast. So if you're on Instagram, you'll be able to watch the replay of all this whole process on YouTube, pinned in the comment here. But when I end this live on Instagram, it will not be on Instagram. It'll just live on YouTube. Truth Boy Officially, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Truth Boy Officially. Incredible plugin designer. If I'm thinking about the right person, let's see. Green Coast Music says, let me see where we at. 5.46 gigabytes out of 12.28. So that is not exactly half, almost half. Besides pitching and growing your catalog, what would be some other things do you think help you stay productive in sync? I think the briefs, when I do get briefs, or when people who know I'm involved in sync, like collaborators, reach out to me to collaborate on something and I have time to sort of focus on that. Or if it's like a style that I've been interested in creating and I haven't created before, or I listen to the artist, I really like the artist. The other now has been sort of these projects that I've been lining up over the last um, yeah, the projects I've been lining up for some incredible opportunities. So it's sort of sync, but it's more on a at a different level of sync, and so I've been locking in on those. But really, it's I have to make music every day. I didn't really make much music today, but I have to do something musically related every day. Today, I spent a lot of time focusing on, building the flyer for the Disney camp and getting stuff together for that. Not camp, the Disney, not camp. I don't want people to think, oh, there's a Disney camp. No, not Disney camp. The Disney workshop. I'm doing creating Disney style music. It's not has nothing to do with Disney's not paying for it. Disney not involved at all. But I have worked with Disney. But it's just my how I would go about creating that. But it's really just coming up with these ideas in the creative space. It's like, okay, what do I wish I had when I was sort of starting out? And for me, I still feel like I'm just starting out in sync because I didn't know what sync was, even though I've been involved with sync for forever. I didn't realize it was sync until like 2 years ago. So now diving in on the sync space, meeting these great collaborators, going out to these events. That also helps to stay productive. Is when I go to these events, and again, if I could be at a conference and I'm not really focused on making music because I'm focused on networking out there, building those connections, and sharing my music and finding collaborators, finding music supervisors, finding sync agents, finding sync libraries, finding companies and things like that. So going to those events like Sync Spotlight, like NAM, like South by Southwest, like AES, I would love to get to PMC this year. I would love to get to SyncCon, but if I had to choose one, I think I said PMC. I would prefer first, and then in the future. But there's a lot of stuff happening out in LA, obviously. Um, like I said, would love to get to London in a few weeks for that incredible music opportunity. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. I gotta find a sponsor. So if you know someone, sponsor a trip to London, hit me up. Have them hit me up um, for a trailer production camp. Music TF. Thank you for tuning in. Official GIC Music says, yo back. This is an episode. This is episode 68 of the Syncrets To Success podcast. This episode was intended to show you a quick process of me updating my Logic Pro, but this is taking forever. I might even I can't stay up too late. I need to go to sleep at some point. So I might even like let it run and do its thing and then just go to sleep because yeah, this thing is like going real slow. Maybe I need to close some other apps because I have some stuff open. Should I close Safari? Hmm, maybe. I see that it's like updating, but it was like it's going at a snail's pace. And then it doesn't tell me the time. Like it would help if it said like, 2 hours it'll be updated, but it doesn't. So official GIC or whoever's watching, if you got any questions, drop them in the comments. I am here until I was gonna be here until this thing ends, but I can't stay up too much. I gotta go to sleep and get ready for work tomorrow. And hopefully by the time I wake up, the update will be done if it's gonna take that long. Like I said, didn't expect it to take this long to download 12 gigabytes or 6 gigabytes on an M1 Mac, but such is life. And it's also doesn't help that I'm live on like YouTube on the computer, so I'm doing all this processing. Uh, so I'll hang around. Maybe let's say it this way. I'll hang around for like 15 more minutes. We'll see where the chips lie in 15 minutes. I was gonna try to give you a sneak preview of the Disney. Hold on, I hear the piano. Let's see, but there is a delay. There is a delay, but the piano's there. Uh, of the style of music. Usually I start with the piano. So if you're watching on YouTube now, if you're not on YouTube, maybe come over to YouTube. You won't see the piano notes, but I would start with like a piano idea and then build from there. There's that delay. That delay is gonna kill me. Yeah, that delay is gonna kill me. But you'll see the whole process on Friday if you join the Disney workshop composing Disney style music. I'm looking at this number and it's sort of stuck at the 5.46 gigabytes. So I might have to like shut it down and then open it back up and see if that'll trigger something to speed it up. Let me try that because the impatience is kicking in. Green Coast Music, appreciate you tuning in. Yeah. Go to YouTube, check out the episode. I'm just talking as I'm trying to struggle. I'm debating whether I should do. It's not even gonna let me do a force quit. If I force quit Logic, um, even though it doesn't say anything, is let's see. It's saying something about. Oh, that's what it was. Contact was holding. You know what? That's crazy. Um, I am a I had a version of Contact that was holding me up. So I think are we? I don't know if we're updated, but jump on over to YouTube now. So I'm gonna see. That's crazy. Uh, I had a pop up window. I had a window pop up that I wasn't seeing. So I don't. I still don't know if it updated, downloaded everything. Because I see it's still downloading. But I'm gonna try sneak peek into the Disney style music workshop. I would usually start with the piano ID. I'm not gonna show everything. I'm just gonna go to. I wanted to use Piano Verse actually. So shout out to IK Multimedia. Um, I would start with the piano idea and then I would build it from there. So let's say, uh, I'm gonna try to make it terrible enough not to keep because I don't want to have to build the whole thing out. Like I said, I do want to go to sleep. Piano Verse from IK Multimedia. They have a bunch of pianos in here. I gotta install something. Let's see, install software. There we go. We'll go to let's see, modern. I want to hear what this piano sounds like. Green Coast Music. Again, thank you for tuning in. That's not bad. Okay. So that's the piano. Let's say I want to just have a. I don't even want to set the loop. I want to start with an idea. So you remember like what does Let It Go starts out like they start off with they start off like the high keys and then they come back. I forget. I don't even know how it starts, but I'm gonna start like I'm trying to make it like simple enough to not be keepable, which is kind of hard. All right, so if you're over on YouTube, I'm gonna hit record and we're just gonna wing it. But I do want it faster. That's 120. We'll make this 130. Sneak peek into the Disney sort of style music. Come on over to YouTube. I don't know. But I can build that out into like a sort of Disney. So this is when you're like there's a character in the film and they're about to bust out into song balls or start singing a song. This would be sort of how I would start an idea for like a scene like that. Um, and then I would build that out into more of a orchestral development with strings and maybe brass and percussion and things. Have some different sections, verse, chorus. But you'll see the whole process on Friday at the Disney Workshop. And if you missed still register if you can't make it live because, like I said, that's the cheapest way to get access to the replay. And then after that, it will double in price. And then after that, it will triple in price. So you definitely want to join in on the fun. I don't want to, I'm going to make another episode diving in on some of the features here. Again, we have let me go to track. We have the session player tracks. You have the session drummer, the bass player, the keyboard player. I'm going to do another episode there. I'm going to do another episode where I'm diving in on the stem splitter and how I use the stems, how you can use stems in sync. And what I've used them for in sync. So we'll dive in on that. I think I'm gonna do a stem splitter next. Let me go back. I'm gonna play this again, and I'm gonna look into that. I don't even know where it lives. Is it distortion? I think. Chroma Glow. Just check out this Chroma Glow feature here. um, just with this piano sound. I'm gonna see what this sounds like. Let's, adding distortion. Let's go retro tube. Like distortion, saturation. Probably not the best like style to use it on. But thank you for tuning in. As you saw me sit here waiting impatiently while I had a pop up window like on my computer where I could have probably been done with this. Um, this is Manny Lugo. Thank you for tuning in. I am updating my um, Logic Pro on YouTube for my podcast. This is a podcast episode. So I just upgraded it. It took me longer than I thought, but then I didn't realize I had a pop up window open. So as soon as I clicked that, it like bye. Um, but I'm gonna leave it all up there because you get to see the joys, the pains, the success, the struggles of being a music creator, creative entrepreneur. Um, yeah, and I need to go to sleep because I gotta get ready for work. But finally got the update done. So maybe tomorrow or later, it's now a new day over here. So maybe later tonight, I will go live again. I will dive in on the stem splitter, which is what I want to do show next, and share how you can use that in the sync space. So again, check out the episode Syncrets To Success. If you missed it, go to YouTube. Check out the Syncrets To Success podcast. If you're on Instagram, comment the word Disney for information on how to attend my composing Disney music workshop on Friday. That'll be Friday night at 9 p.m. If you are watching on YouTube, you can check the link in the description. Again, the best way to join is to join the live workshop, or at least to register for the live workshop, because that is the cheapest access to get to that. And then after that, the price will go up. So stay tuned for more. Be safe and be well, everyone. Let me make sure I can end the live first. Let me go to OBS. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right. Peace.